opposed to those lost theirs. I stand here because Tibetan inside Tibet cannot. December 10 is a day of profound meaning for Tibetan worldwide. It marks the 38th anniversary of His Holiness the Dalai Lama receiving Nobel Peace Prize, a recognition of his unwavering commitment to compassion and non-violence in the face of injustice. It is also Human Rights Day, a reminder of universal principles.
Yeah, lasso.
Nyamde yazogi chilo la ta de ge khap chasang gi indishine gedar di sukshera ta nganzo phegi gedar di yomarita
tenja jama begi ngaranzo puri shada jimbe puri pinda thangle deba marsu 당요래 준주 제어래 망부지 제어래 이내 디기 베베기 셈나로 유베 닝독다 진호 건설 장면 친구 쳐라 굳이다 이디요와디 군주 매와 수두고 매자 다 된다 잠아베기 시주 신과 님바 지칼어다 말아줘 삼론하고 왜 시주 다 베베기 지 미리디 매와
Anya Singda is an environmental defender and political prisoner who was wrongly put behind bars in 2018 is still in jail. Anya Singda would mobilize his local community to advocate against illegal mining, wildlife poaching, and government corruption. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison on politically motivated charges of picking quarrels and provoking trouble and gathering people to disturb public order. Anya Singda's brother was also detained and sadly was tortured to death by CCP officers. Anya Singda's family has only seen him twice in the past 7 years. Once last year and again earlier this year, with them saying how his health is rapidly deteriorating. Anya Singda should have never been in prison, and now his sentence has been extended and his health is at risk. Which is why Students for Free Tibet has created a letter writing campaign in which people, regardless of age and background, came together to fight for Anya Singda. From the Hagar Gorshe Park to my high school,
Roami Topdan Jene Machune Tunda Dewadi Topdan Kurzawarani Mer Soyaji, Pebami Miri Kurzadortayaki, Yemi Cheshitinger. Ye Miri Sador City, Gombachi Shena, the Zamling Gazon, Miri. Koran genocide convention na sebshare meri zador ta di inji miji mendaki je miseb jigo marda mig ta garzo susu jigne ine ke ine monguchi susu identity ko map sona ba mid medu meri di medu ani mir dogdo kashe sabine di gai pöyin ngazo ha ko to ya jingde da chi pö나들이 khali soya chi 혼자 땐데 랑가 띵겨 진짜 아주 자타고 쉬우지 내래도 나라도 공부하고 싶다 지만 아주 점링게서 아주 깨져야 이네 내가 가르치야 이네 뉴욕던 남부도 곧 야고 싶구나샤 진짜 디토 아주 공부하고 싶어야지 배배 제노사이드를 아주 카데샤야지 섬르스타나 그래 봐 예수지고 그 아주 겜비지고 좀 드려 말해 내가 때 숙제스 나와야 지기 도저스레겨 그래서 남부도 가가지고 좀나 강게 남시 진짜 찍기대 필라델피아는 디포도 콤바라도 경도 그리나 페샤 전에 나가라 도착나 쉬겨 봐 양교 나라나 나이 년도 봐 세상 잔다 해매 깨숨요래 간저 숨주 되지 강이야만 변에 듣게 되지 March 10, 1959. 벽에 닫고 범인이 있은 게죠. 저 디식격 깨식겨라는 벽에 닫고 범인이 이번에 깨식 가르쳐놨으나 야나 변에 타졌던 거 변에 타졌던 거 변이랑
Today, in front of the United Nations on Human Rights Day, we must confront the truth, which is as cold as this Arctic blast today in New York. The biggest human right abuse and crime on earth is happening inside occupied Tibet, and the world and this institute, the UN, pretends they don't see it. So we are here to force them to see us. Tibet continues to be betrayed by the world. This is not an emotional, sort of an emotional outcry. This is a historical fact. In fact, when the global body, this global body, were busy drafting and voting on the Declaration of the Human Rights in 1948, Tibet was being occupied. What resulted was 1.2 million Tibetans executed, over 1,000 ancient irreplaceable monasteries destroyed, countless Tibetans imprisoned, including His Holiness the Panchen Rinpoche, the longest kidnapped child political prisoner in history. Currently, nearly 1 million children are forcibly separated and imprisoned in colonial boarding schools. Nomads living in the grasslands for centuries are shot or jailed if they refuse to leave. Lhasa, our holiest city, our capital city, is the most militarized, has the most militarized surveillance city on the entire planet. Freedom House ranks Tibet the least free country. And just for context, North Korea ranks number 3. Tibetans cannot display their flag, cannot celebrate His Holiness, cannot compose, pray, or sing about Tibet without fear of prison, torture, or death. What is happening in Tibet is a genocide. What is happening in Tibet is a ethnic cleansing. And it is a 76-year-old crime that the world has refused to punish. In fact, the United Nations now still has the Chinese government on the Human Rights Board, which is a hypocritical irony. There are leaders in this world that are still rolling out red carpets, leaders who are shaking hands with this bloody dictator of China and creating trade deals. And we are here to say enough is enough. To every diplomat in this glass house, to every government officials that chooses trade over truth, to Beijing, who's probably right now watching us, there's one thing I want to tell them directly as possible and to the world, without fear or any sort of hesitation, that Tibet was never a part of China. Tibet is never a part of China, and Tibet will never be a part of China.
Tibet now!
Free Tibet now!
Release the Panchen Lama now!
Release the Panchen Lama now!
Release the political prisoners now!
Release the political prisoners now!
Stop the genocide in Tibet!
Stop the genocide in Tibet!
Free Tibet now!
Free Tibet now!